This is a production of Florida State University.
Coming up on FSU Headlines, Hurricane Michael devastates the Panhandle and Florida State students need your help.
FSU cuts the ribbon on a new home for students.
And it's time to thank Knoll, how a new FSU tradition is honoring donors. It's all coming up on this month's edition of FSU Headlines.
Hello and welcome to another edition of FSU Headlines, coming to you from the Florida State University Panama City campus. I'm Dennis Schnitker.
And I'm Sashmi Hayes. We're here in Panama City at Florida State's campus on the coast to talk about the recovery efforts of this campus and the area here after the devastation left by Hurricane Michael.
That's right, Sashmi. Hurricane Michael left a lot of destruction when it made landfall October 10th. And now, weeks later, the Florida State University students here still need your help. FSU Headlines reporter Mark Vaughn joins us now. And Mark, you've spent some time here at the FSU Panama City campus talking to the faculty, students, and staff.
That's right, Dennis and Seshmi, and the resiliency that they've all shown has been amazing here at FSU Panama City. The recovery efforts are far from over, but just getting back to class was a huge first step on the path to a little bit brighter future for everyone who calls this campus home.
I packed 3 days worth of clothes to leave, when I really should have just packed up my whole life because no one thought that this is what was going to happen.
There was absolute devastation left in the wake of Hurricane Michael throughout the panhandle of Florida.
To have nothing to come back home to is just, it was the worst feeling in the whole entire world.
That devastation and the subsequent recovery efforts includes many of Florida State University's students, faculty, and staff.
I want people to think about how we are survivors. We did manage to make through this. We are surviving and we are living every day. It may not be to the standards of what we would want, but we're doing it. And I just hope that the community in the area and just everyone around us just realizes that this is not going to be gone in a week.
The catastrophic events of the Category 4 hurricane hasn't stopped the people of FSU Panama City from banding together to reopen the campus and show an uncanny resiliency.
Opening up the lectures and stuff, but it wouldn't download any of the recorded
Despite some
lectures
trying times, classes are back.
There.
The campus is up and running, and FSU Panama City is acting as a safe haven and a home away from home for many who have damaged homes and even some who don't have a place to call home right now.
The students were excited. They were thrilled to be here. They were thankful that they had an opportunity to finish the semester. They were appreciative that a sense of normalcy would return to their life. They were glad to see their friends. There were a lot of hugs.
And while the area has a long road ahead before it actually recovers, if there's a stone of hope that's fallen from this mountain of despair, it could be FSU Panama City.
I have never wanted something more than I want a degree, and this storm will not change that. So I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to graduate with honors, because right now I have a 3.9 GPA, which I wish it was a 4, but I'm not going to let this hold me back from my studies and my schooling. It's going to be really, really tough. It's going to take a lot of hard work and determination, but when I get that diploma in my hands, it's going to be worth everything.
For FSU Headlines, I'm Mark Vaughn.
Thank you, Mark. And FSU Panama City Dean Randy Hanna is joining us now. Dean Hanna, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a challenging semester, to say the least, here at the university, but you guys are holding up very well. Tell us a little bit about how everybody's doing.
Well, first, thank you for being here. It has been a challenging semester. It's certainly been a challenging last 3 weeks, but you know what? We're doing great here. We were able to start classes this past Monday. We're excited about that. Students are excited. They're glad to be back and to finish out the semester. Opening campus provided a sense of normalcy for the students, and they very much appreciated the hard work that everybody put in to start classes back.
And FSU has been helping here in the community in other ways too. What are some of those other ways?
First, our students have been fabulous. They volunteered with local organizations. They've started Operation Seminole Tribe, where they're going out in the community, checking on people in various homes. Those are a couple of ways. In addition, our College of Social Work, the dean has been over working with the school district to see ways that the College of Social Work and other organizations can help in the counseling needs that our school district will have.
What are some of the main needs that you guys have seen from students and that the university has been able to meet?
So we predict that in excess of 30% of our faculty, staff, and students had significant damage to their homes, and many of their homes were destroyed. And the university has established an emergency relief fund to help faculty, staff, and students. And that's been of significant benefit to our folks here and to the folks on the Tallahassee campus. So that has been great. So the emergency fund has been of significant benefit to all of us, and especially to a lot of folks who, while they had damage at their homes, they were here working to restore campus. And so it was a tough time for them. In addition, our students are working on housing options for other students. Folks have given to the food pantry. It's been an all hands-on effort here to help our students and our other team members.
So as you just mentioned, the recovery is well underway here, but before the storm, there was a lot of great things happening here. There was a lot of momentum, a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. What's the future hold now for FSU Panama City?
And thank you for that, because the excitement is still here and the momentum is still here. You know, there's a lot of recovery. There was a lot of devastation, but we're in the recovery mode. And what we're going to show here at FSU Panama City is through recovery, we will strive and we will thrive. We're looking at new programs, have been, and will continue to do that. We have an active recruiting effort for new students. Florida State University, Panama City, we'll keep that momentum.
I know you will. Thank you for your time. I know you've been very busy, you remain very busy, and you've all done a great job. So thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. And of course, the university has also set up the Seminole Relief Fund for those who may need support during these difficult times. You can visit news.fsu.edu to find out how you can give. And for those who need to apply for relief, we have that information there as well. With larger storms hitting the Tallahassee area over the last few years, a new federal grant is providing 2 FAMU FSU engineering professors the funds that they need to improve the way we evacuate for storms. Aaron Asguvin and Wenry Huang are professors at the College of Engineering and have just received a $500,000 grant to help the state of Florida better prepare for emergency situations. The two made a joint proposal to the National Science Foundation to look at hurricane hazards and evacuations, with the goal of developing new disaster-related policies and plans for local and state governments. Giving the example of Hurricane Irma and the direction of the storm tracks changing multiple times, the uncertainty left evacuees rushing to get out of the storm's way and created dangerous traffic and road conditions.
During 2002 and 2005, there was several hurricanes. Florida, there was 4 hurricanes hit Florida, and in 2004, and then there's the Hurricane Katrina, Hurricane Rita in Louisiana and Texas. In all these hurricane events, that can show the problems what is in hurricane evacuations, And then in last year, that's what the Hurricane Irma, that's the quite recent event that we can show the need for combine these 2 elements together.
Each hurricane has their own characteristics, which is very important. Because we need to study the storm surge impact, flooding impact on the coastal region, and then come up with plans for evacuation. So you have been given the evacuation order, but you're still deciding, and you're going to bed with category 2, and you're just getting out of the bed with a category 4, and now you don't have time. So we need to kind of improve this decision-making process with studying integrated coastal hazard and evacuation modeling.
And the two are looking at both coastal hazard and massive evacuation modeling to provide emergency management officials with more realistic data needed to determine hurricane evacuation routes. They say they'd also like to design and implement a geographic information system-based network to optimize locating hurricane shelters and maximize the accessibility and capacity of existing hurricane shelters.
One day after we recorded this program in Panama City, a gunman walked into a Tallahassee yoga studio and started firing. He killed one of our current students, 21-year-old Mara Binkley, and a faculty member at the FSU College of Medicine, 61-year-old Dr. Nancy Van Vessem. He also injured a number of others, including current students and alumni. On Sunday, we gathered here on Langford Green to remember the fallen.
How do you begin? You don't say good evening. It is not good. You don't say welcome. There are so many other places we would rather be. I believe we begin and end with love. I offer that only together and only through love, both its suffering and its hope, we will rediscover and recreate how to be.
Our hearts are broken as we gather to mourn the loss of two members of our Florida State University family and offer prayers for those who were injured and affected by this horrific attack. This hateful and despicable act has affected our community profoundly, especially the families of Mara and Dr. Nancy Van Vessem.
I know together this FSU family that's grieving so deeply will find peace in each other and love for each other. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the administration, I pledge that Florida State University will do everything we can in our power to help each of you find that path to peace.
We are gathered here today to not only remember the fallen members of our FSU family, but to also honor their legacies. Each individual who has passed away was unique in the sense that they contributed their personal gifts and talents to help better Florida State University.
I invite you to light your candles, and as we witness our own and each other's sorrow and hope, I ask you to raise your candle. Raise it in honor of those we have lost. Raise it to fill the night with our love that will guide us through our sorrow and into hope.
Mara and Nancy were shining lights to all who knew them. They will always shine bright in our hearts and forever be a part of the Florida State University family. May God bless you and all of you who are here, and particularly the family members who I know are grieving so much.
We are Florida State University.
When you buy a Florida State University license plate,
you're not just showing your school spirit.
You're supporting students like us.
In the lab,
in the classroom,
and in the library.
Putting this tag on your vehicle helps Florida State students achieve their dreams. So show your pride. Purchase an FSU license plate today.
Welcome back to FSU Headlines. This year's homecoming festivities were particularly memorable for Florida State University's Black Student Union. With nearly 200 friends and alumni looking on, Florida State's Black Student Union held its official ribbon cutting, marking the opening of their new facilities. The BSU was established back in 1968 with a mission to help develop unity among Black students and express concerns faced on campus. While the house was previously housed on Woodward Avenue, it was back in 2016 that the Florida legislature awarded the university $1.5 million to support construction of the new BSU. The new building is 5,600 square feet, features 2 stories of glass windows, modern lighting, and plenty of space for students to convene.
In 1992, 26 years ago, I was the BSU president, and during my administration, the BSU house went under a renovation. It went under a renovation 91, 92, and we were happy to get new furniture, to have desks in each office, and to have a new couch and a new table. It wasn't even a boardroom table, just to have a table in the BSU house. And so to see what we have here today, to move into this as the Black Student Union House at Florida State University is a tremendous accomplishment from so many people.
Seeing that we have evolved into a new edifice that can house even more programming, do even more work for the Black students here at Florida State University, I found it not robbery to be a part of this momentous occasion, to see how we have evolved as a people and as a university.
And this year marked the 50th anniversary of the Black Student Union. Former President Moore challenged current BSU students to treat the new home with respect and encourage them to become active members of the Alumni Association after their time is complete here at FSU.
And the BSU isn't the only group on campus with new digs. FSU's tiniest also have a new home. A special ribbon cutting marked the occasion. FSU Headlines reporter Cara Irby takes us inside the big event.
Let me see you slide.
Slides, sand, and smiles were all part of a very special ribbon cutting at FSU's brand new childcare facility, where employees nurture and educate the young children of FSU students, faculty, and staff.
We first began caring for little ones back in 1935, and I wasn't here then, I promise you that. When the Florida State College for Women began opening and operating a nursery near Landis Hall, if you're familiar with that. I'm sure most of you are. Since then, we've prepared thousands of young babies and toddlers and preschoolers for their formal education at various locations, certainly around the campus. Now we've moved into this beautiful new facility, and it is truly beautiful.
FSU first began the project in 2016 after acquiring this site located on South Copeland Street.
We're providing a quality, excellent care program with our teachers, our faculty, and our staff, but we were doing it in buildings that weren't the best and weren't optimal. So when we got the chance to buy this, we said, let's turn it into a state-of-the-art child care facility for our campus.
Prior to the new location, older children were still receiving care a little ways from campus in an area called Alumni Village. Now, having all the kids so close to the main campus is a welcome change. FSU grad students Graham and Nicole Newell have 2 kids in the program.
This facility truly cares about teaching my children, even as they were infants. And so just being in a place where I don't have to worry about them, it makes me love FSU even more. Just the fact that they do care about their students pretty much in every level of their life. They don't just care about me academically, but they care about me personally.
The new building has already received recognition for its interior design. It also helps FSU with its strategic goals of recruiting the best faculty. The new wing allows the program to serve 133 children, nearly double the amount served previously. For FSU Headlines, I'm Cara Irby.
And this fall, Florida State celebrates its most generous benefactors. Thank a Knoll is a brand new tradition here at FSU where students, faculty, and staff are all encouraged to take a moment and express their gratitude to those who make a positive impact on the Seminole community with their generosity each and every day. Here's a look at that story.
It is a wonderful morning to be a Seminole, but it is also a wonderful morning to thank a Knoll. And I want to tell you a little bit about what thank a Knoll means to me. A lot of the buildings, opportunities, and the wonderful things that we have here as students have come from those who have given back. And we are taking the time today to say thank you to the alumni, to the wonderful, distinguished students who were once walking these same grounds that are now taking their time and consideration to give back to Florida State University. There's something beautiful in that.
You know, Florida State University is a special place when it comes to giving back. Our donors who are giving their time, their resource, and their money are very, very important to the success of this university. And for you all to come by and thank them is an amazing thing. And I'm very appreciative of that, because we want to reach out to all of our donors and say thanks for everything they've done for Florida State.
The university has all these amazing opportunities for us students, and it can make our student experience as best as possible. Thank you guys so much for all the hard work you do every day. Go Noles.
And the FSU Foundation's mission is to enhance the academic vision and priorities of Florida State University through its organized fundraising activities and funds management. Established in 1960, today the foundation manages an endowment of more than $500 million. Coming up next, Garnet and Gold shines in all its glory as they march towards Westcott.
We'll take you inside this year's homecoming parade next. That's coming up when FSU Headlines returns.
Welcome back to FSU Headlines and the FSU Panama City campus. Well, it's been a long first season for new head football coach Willie Taggart. Plenty of ups and some downs this season in his first year with his Seminoles, but there's plenty of other sports going on as the winter starts to roll in and the fall season starts to roll out. Let's start with football and the tail end of the inaugural season for first-year head coach Willie Taggart, and what a first year it has been. Sandwiched in between some tough losses have been some milestones for the coach and the team. Of course, his first win as the Seminole head football coach and first home win as well. Despite the tough record with losses and just 4 wins heading into the last 3 games of the season, Taggart's still positive ahead of his last road game of the year. A couple of Noles did get Player of the Week honors in their game against NC State in the ACC. Florida State quarterback James Blackman, receiver Tamori and Terry were named ACC Conference Players of the Week at their respective positions. It's the first league honor for each of their players in their young careers. Maybe a sign of things to come for the Noles. Check out Seminoles.com for the full schedule and news about FSU football all season long. Now over to soccer and a much different feel for the soccer team. The Noles are now the ACC champions yet again for head coach Mark Krikorian and crew. The team winning its 5th ACC championship in the last 6 years. They had to go through a who's who in the ACC tournament, taking out several teams including Virginia and North Carolina in the title game to reclaim the throne in arguably the toughest conference tournament in the country. After the win in the conference tournament and the championship, Florida State earned the conference's automatic bid to the 2018 NCAA Women's Soccer Championship, a #1 overall seed. And now to the court in volleyball, playing some of its best volleyball lately, improving to a 12-2 ACC record. The Florida State volleyball team got a huge win over a top 25 team on the season, on the road no less, with a win over Louisville to move that mark to 12-2. The Noles taking some early bumps in the season in some tournaments, but they turned those into some learning lessons in the heart of the ACC schedule. Now, seriously looking like a team to reckon with in the month of November. Of course, you can keep up with all of the sports action, including basketball, which is now underway for both the men's and women's teams. What a time to be a sports fan here at Florida State. All that going on at Seminoles.com.
All right, thank you, Mark. FSU students explore the once-in-a-lifetime experiences Florida State University offers college students at the International Program's Study Abroad Fair. Each fall, resident directors from Florida State's 4 international study centers, located in London, Florence, Panama, and Valencia, they come together to encourage students to broaden their horizons and consider studying abroad. Students have the chance to inquire about passports, financial aid, internship opportunities, and ask any other questions they may have about what it's like to be immersed in new and foreign cultures.
The growth, the personal growth for the students is the most valuable thing of the study abroad. They come back as a person that is ready to go look for a job, to go talk to any company or to any future boss in a much better manner.
Well over 1,000 students journey around the world each year to study with Florida State University. Our international programs consistently rank in the top 15 U.S. study abroad programs. And finally, we take a look back at some Garnet, Gold, and Glory during this year's homecoming here at Florida State University.
Garnet, Gold, and Glory was this year's theme for more than 60 student groups that paraded down College Avenue for the annual homecoming parade. It featured performances by the Marching Chiefs, the Golden Girls, the Flying High Circus, and many more. Take a look.
Both my parents went here and they haven't said anything but great things about homecoming, and it's such a big tradition, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
The Grand Marshal for this year's homecoming parade was none other than Florida State's very first Heisman Trophy winner, former Seminole football and basketball star, Charlie Ward. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of FSU Headlines.
But you can see more news from Florida State University anytime online at news.fsu.edu. It's the official news website for Florida State University.
For Seshmi and for everyone here at Florida State University and Florida State University Panama City, I'm Dennis Schnitker. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.